Good morning, everybody. Excuse me. I love how when I turn on my camera, all of a sudden all this has to happen. It's been an interesting and yet rough 24 hours. I'll give you a rundown. Dang it. Yesterday, we got the living room done. It's all pretty much all cleaned up and whatnot. There's the computer hutch that needs to be worked on. There's some minor little things here and there, but for the most part, it doesn't look like redone and ran. I use that term because for most parts, when we get our mail and whatnot, we open it up on the couch, and a lot of times we don't clean up. We just set it off to the side. And that's, nobody's fault. It's just life. I mean, like my Aunt Lee used to say, it's a lived-in mess. Not that her house was a mess. It's just the factor that when you live in a house for extended periods of time, and it's your house, it's not a rental. You're paying your mortgage, you're paying your bills and whatnot. It's yours. You don't always worry about keeping it clean because you might have the landlord come in while you're gone. Things like that. That in factor, my Aunt Lee had when I saw her house back in Arizona back in the 80s, it was my three cousins, two of them especially, two of them that I knew about, three of them, my Aunt Lee, Aunt Lee's mom, Busha, yes, Polish background, and it was a nice house. It was a pretty good sized house. I mean, for some of the houses in Arizona, it was a nice house. I mean, you had your central area, which was your eat-in kitchen, your dining area, your living room, a family room. Then off one hallway, off the family room, was 2 bedrooms, a bathroom, and a master suite or master bedroom. And then off the kitchen side, there was the hallway that led to the garage. There was a little room back by the garage, big enough for somebody's bedroom, the laundry area, a bathroom, and then another master suite. So I had 2 master suites on opposite sides. So, excuse me, what I remember was Debbie lived on the kitchen side by the garage. Aunt Lee had the one master suite. Then on the other side was Susie, Busha, and I don't know if Luke or Mark was living with them at the time. Yes, I have 3 cousins. My Aunt Lee's family was I wouldn't say very Catholic, but they were Christian people. They were believers in God. So I had, and this is going to be funny because I think I'm going to try to do it in age order. I might be wrong. The boys, and there was 5 of them. The boys were Matthew, Mark, Luke, and the girls were Debbie and Susan. And now Aunt Lee, they no longer live in that house. Aunt Lee retired and moved to Prescott Valley. Susie is in, I don't remember the name of the little area of Phoenix. It's not Sun Valley, I don't remember it. But Debbie is closer to Paradise Valley, which is where I graduated. Last time I heard, anyhow. They might be different now. But Matthew is retired naval subdriver. He now does like the Renaissance circuit, where he demonstrates woodworking techniques, how to make mead. He does a lot of different little things for the Renaissance type stuff. I know he has a daughter. I can't remember the daughter's name. I thought he had a son or another child, but I'm not sure. There's a lot of things about my Henson side of the family that I don't know about. I haven't kept in contact with. Let's just say I haven't kept in contact with a lot of my Henson side of the family because, not that I don't feel a part of their branch of the tree, basically, but we just have so many things that are not in common. That, in fact, Debbie being the youngest is 10 to 12 years my elder. She's older than me. But there's a lot of things we don't see eye to eye on, like religious aspects or political aspects, things like that. Now, when that in fact they were also the ones that kind of fed me the wrong kind of information or didn't feed me the full aspect of what they were trying to tell me, and it got me into issues as a teenager. But that's water under the bridge. It's just I haven't had contact with them in a while. I have more contact with Luke, who was the quote-unquote black sheep of the family. Luke is actually living in Prescott Valley near his mom, helping her out. He also is the one family member who, like I said, the black sheep of the family, because he experimented with drugs, got himself in trouble with drugs, but he came out of the other end of the tunnel with the realization that he was messing not only himself up, but his own kids. So he cleaned up real quick. But I'll just leave it. I'm sorry, folks. My brain went into a direction that I wasn't really trying to go into. I don't know why. Maybe I just got family on the brain. Don't know why. But my family is sorry. My father's side of the family is they're really interesting people if you ever got the chance to know them. Granted, because most of my youth I traveled wherever the military sent my dad. There was only, when we were in Tucson, when I was a baby, they knew me. They helped my mom change my diapers, and they did all kinds of, like, what family is supposed to do for each other. And then we got transferred to Little Rock, Arkansas, and that was my sorry. That was my, like, 6 and 7 to see, if we left in late 79, I would have been 8 years old. So, 3 or 4 years in Little Rock, in every holiday or major occasion, we traveled from Little Rock to St. Louis, which was 4 to 6 hour drive for my dad. I think, I don't remember. As usual, I slept. But then I got to know my mom's side of the family, and I got to know them better. And then, of course, we got transferred to Hahn Air Base, West Germany, and I had no contact with my family for that 3 years. And then we came to, well, Mom and I came back to St. Louis for the Christmas of '83. And then after Christmas, right around Christmas, New Year's, Dad came back from finishing up what he had to in Germany. And because it was his last 3 years in the military, he decided he wanted to retire closer to Lee and family. So we were back in Phoenix. But anyhow, a lot of that information is in my videos about my past. You can get a little bit more information, some more details on areas. I think I ended those videos right around my high school years. If you want me to do more on my past and some of the craziness I got involved in, myself, not my family, just me, I can do more of those. But anyhow, I know why I started talking about families, because in fact we've been doing all this cleaning for Jerry Ann's birthday. It is the 2nd. I have roughly 6 more days to, well, not me, but let's put it correctly, we have 6 more days to finalize our cleaning, which is basically what is supposed to be the dining room. Jerry Ann wants to set it up for party purposes. This room, which basically she has to go through all the gifts, all the stuff that she wants to give away to her friends and family. Unfortunately, one person decided that they're not going to come because of COVID fear, which I kind of understand, but don't understand. We went to Ohio in the middle of COVID. We don't know who was sick and who wasn't. And there was a whole bunch of us, gathered together in a little party hall with, a lot of activities going on outside, tables set up outside. In fact, most people were outside. There were only maybe a dozen or so people that actually stayed inside the building for whatever reasons. As far as I know, I'm not contaminated, or Jerry, or my mom. We're all pretty healthy, except for my seasonal allergy crud. So today will be some more ongoing cleaning, whether we come in here to work in here or go in the dining room to work in the dining room. I have not sat down with Jerry Ann to talk to her about that. It's going to be one of our mini discussions. Yesterday was basically, we did the living room. We did some stuff here and there. We took our time. One of the reasons why we took our time is because, in fact, I don't have a time crunch anymore. I don't have to sit there and go, oh no, I can only work for, an hour before I have to go actual work. It's been nice that I've been able to do that, because, in fact, we're getting a lot of stuff done that we just have not been able to totally fulfill because of my scheduling. Downside. Downside is I'm unemployed. I'm not gaining any needed funds, and I'm not asking for handouts or anything like that. In fact, I went to go check my mail and found in the doorway a FedEx next day envelope stuck in between my door and my screen, my front door and the screen door, and it's probably by just glancing at it after I open up the big envelope, the small envelope is my last paycheck. Jay and I calculated that should be at least $600. Well, 600 plus because of that last Sunday, or that past Sunday, which was after the pay period. Hopefully they calculated it in and put it in, and hopefully I get a good enough check to cover some of our debt, or not our debt, some of our deductions. That is the word I was looking for. But like I said in one of my other videos, we might have to tighten our belts and whatnot after the events that are happening. Like I said, I told Mom don't cancel her trip to Ohio to visit her friend. Don't cancel. I told Jared we're not canceling. No, we can't really cancel anything because the plane ticket for Mom is already paid for. And I'm pretty sure we can get reimbursement for the hotel room. I'd like to be able to say cancel that, but the main reason why I don't want to cancel that is one of our guests is allergic to cats, and I don't want Carmen to be held up at a pet care place. She's also allergic to smoke. Well, we have both here. Mom smokes, and I can't get the house aired out in 24 hours, or less than 24 hours, and, the cat. So, two of our guests basically said that they would prefer to, one of them said she would prefer to stay in a hotel room because of cat and smoke. Unfortunately, she arrives the same day Mom leaves. So I'm thinking that Mom leaves pretty early in the morning and they get here sometime in the afternoon or the next day. We may have 6 to 24 hours to air out Mom's side of the house. The only part I can't get rid of is a cat. So I'll do as much as I can for, our guests. The other one who said that she would stay in a hotel room, I kind of understand because Jenny Ann's going to have two sisters. And we have a queen-size bed in here and the king in our bedroom. And I offered to basically sleep on a couch so Jerry Ann and her bestie can share the king while the two sisters share the queen, or one sister on the queen, one sister would, Jerry Ann, I'll sleep in Mom's room, and I'll sleep on the couch. Arrangements have not been established to 100%, but all I know is in here, once we get the bed cleaned off and whatnot, I gotta strip it, wash it, if we haven't already done that since our last visitor. Do the same thing in our room and maybe Mom's, because now it's like, Jan's one sister is a smoker. Mom's a smoker. We were thinking about putting her up in Mom's room if it was okay with Mom. But at this point in time, because the one sister from Vegas is not coming due to COVID, it's getting worse again out in Vegas because they open up way too soon. And what is Vegas? Vegas, with all their casinos, is just one gigantic petri dish. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why she said she wasn't coming. I think she has an alternative motive because, according to Jerry Ann, the sister in Vegas and the one sister in New York don't exactly get along. And I'm like, they can't get along for 4 to 5 days. Put their differences aside and make it all about their sister who's turning 50. And everybody else is already 50. She's the youngest. I don't know. I don't know, because in fact I don't have siblings. But anyhow, um, job hunting has been going slow. Not because in fact I've been focusing on the house, but because I've already done what I can. And I figured that if I don't get any callbacks by Monday, in fact, what is Monday? Um, Sorry, I'm like searching for my Monday. Okay, Monday. Monday is going to be the 6th. So Monday I will have 2 more days before they come here. And basically Monday I will start calling some of these places. Especially some of the places I really want to work, because getting a job at like the Dollar Tree or the Dollar General would be preferable, not because of the factor that I'll be a cashier again, but because the one thing I don't want to deal with ever again, because it was such a headache, lottery. I don't care how much money you spend on scratchers or picks, whatever you want to call them, or both. What was annoying, I should say, was when you have 1 or 2 customers who either come in and buy 1 ticket at a time and stand in the store and scratch it off, and then come back up and literally drop. I had this one gentleman, and I'm not going to talk about his nationality or anything like that, because it don't matter what his nationality was. But anyhow, I had this one gentleman and his friend who would come in almost on a regular, every other day basis. Where they were getting their money, how they were getting their money, none of my business. I could care less. But they would stay in the store for a half an hour to 45 minutes and drop $300 or more, and maybe walk out of there with $100 or more. Now, the way the lotto was set up in my store was, if you had a winning ticket, it cannot be above $100. If it was above $100, you had to go someplace else, because I can only do $100 at a time. 2 reasons why. 1, if you had a big winner, you'd clear me out. I'd have no money. 2, I'm only supposed to have X amount of dollars in my drawer. Okay. If you have something over $100 and I've only got 50 in my drawer at the time, even though that's lower than what I'm supposed to have in the drawer, I'm finished. I have to wait 30 minutes just to replenish my drawer from the safe drop. I try to keep at least, most of my jobs I've ever worked, I'm only supposed to have like $150 to $200 in the drawer at a time. So I try to keep at least $150, maybe $200. Anytime my stack of 20s was looking a little heavy, I would drop money. In fact, there was one day that my 20s were so heavy, I dropped in one shot $600. $600 in 20s alone. Yeah, that was a busy night, because I usually try to do drops every hour and a half, 2 hours, just to make sure I didn't have an overabundance of money. Because if I were to have that $600 plus, and that's just 620, so that's not the rest of the drawer. If I were to have the $600 plus in my drawer, and somebody were to come in and rob me at gunpoint, yeah, that's a lot of money to lose to a robber. Now, most of the people who are crazy enough or dumb enough to rob a convenience store, some of them know that there's a safe that you really can't get to because you don't have a key for it, but they'll take whatever's in the drawer and run. good thing and bad thing about my knowledge and the way my brain works when it comes to things, and it could be anything in general. My brain is capable of going through scenarios on how somebody could rob a store or do damage to a store without being caught or things like that. It's scary. But at the same time, it's knowledge that I can use in defense for my store or wherever I work. I don't know if it's just because of the fact I've played so many different types of games where you have to think of scenarios to get past an enemy guard or enemy establishment to get to your target without causing a stir or alerting soldiers around you that you're there when you don't want to be detected. I don't know. But anyhow, sorry. Oh, I just love this time of year. But anyhow, I want to address. This is just a quick thing. Last couple of videos, I've been getting compliments on the fact that I shaved, and some people thought I had a haircut because I've been trying to keep my hair nice and groomed, I guess. I haven't had a haircut yet. My hair is still, in fact, this right here in the front, this is what I call my tester. Yeah, it hasn't been cut yet. I asked Ariane to give me a haircut last night, and we got so busy with other stuff that a haircut went to the sidelines, and that's fine, because if I can just keep it nice and neat for now, it looks, presentable. Now, I'm pretty sure that if I were to go for a job interview or something like that and my hair's not cut, I'd have to carry a comb with me, because if the wind hits me just right, humidity hits me just right, poof, it just, gets out of control. Other than that, a lot of your comments have been just kind of like very nice, very, pleasant comments. Unfortunately, somebody, and I've already basically blocked them, came in and tried to solicit something that was just kind of like, really, I don't know how YouTube is allowing you to be doing that. I don't know if it's just because the person's wording was not, it wasn't caught by the algorithm or whatnot. But people who do that, I block them. In fact, I didn't really catch the name, but there's always some bad apple out there wanting to be, a turd. But it happens. Anyhow, a lot of my vlogs right now are going to be basic updates. Updates about what's going on for preparation for the party. Updates of what's going on with my job hunting. Just little things like that. But since I've got so much time on my hands, but I just don't know how much of it I'm going to be able to use for YouTube. Because somebody has suggested that for me to get over that hurdle of being stuck at 967, 970, to try to do more vlogs. But I realize it's not the factor of more vlogs or anything like that. It's more trying to attract more people to my channel. Oh, fudge. I just realized that we don't really have anything out for dinner. Maybe I'll do a cooking vlog. Maybe I'll do a cooking video. Those seem to really jump. I just don't know what right now because I already... I think I know what I'm going to try to do. I have to talk to Jerry about it, and I have to see if I have the ingredients for it. But if we do have the ingredients for it, I can do, well, we'll see what happens. I mean, right now, I think between not knowing exactly what I have food-wise, because I haven't taken the inventory in a while, and that was one of the things that we wanted to do. We wanted to go and clean out and clean up and rearrange the freezer for inventory purposes. Because having Jerry said 7, but I think it's 6. Let's see here. Jerry, myself, Elise, Jane, Lisa. Okay, 6 people. We're gonna have 6 people in the house that we have to feed, and I think part of the idea of taking an inventory is to see what kind of food we have and what we might need. I don't know if Jerry can put the shopping or the Walmart pickup, Walmart grocery pickup in yet, because we were still discussing it, and I don't know if we were going to do it, go pick up today, or if we're still like in the shopping phase. Anywho, darn it, this has gotten to be too long again. Well, half an hour. Anyhow, since you all kind of know my situation, and I know a lot of you are like, do whatever you want to do. We'll still listen. We'll still watch. Thank you for that. I might have said it before. I might not have. I don't know, but I'm gonna say it this time around. Sometimes, if I don't have a schedule or an idea of what I'm going to vlog about, and here I am starting to talk with my hands. I tend to get lost, and I tend to go different directions, and the videos become longer than they should be, or they need to be shorter because of YouTube's 15 minutes, no more, or monetization may not happen. I don't know. Maybe they've changed that. All I know is I've got way too many projects. And yes, now that I have the time, I need to sit down, pick a project, finish the project, and then maybe talk about the project. That's probably what I'm going to end up trying to do, is finish a project and then talk about it. But until the project is done, or until I'm done reading the book, I'm just going to continue doing this, which might be a little bit crazy. I might have to learn how to watch my time, maybe set a timer. I don't know. There's a lot of factors that I'm still learning when it comes to what I'm going to have to be doing or what I have to be mindful of for monetization. That and a factor I might have to learn to edit. And what I mean by edit is just learn to either take out words or learn to curb my... Well, you know what? I'm going to ask you, I'm going to poll you guys again. Do you think I've had too many issues with foul language, I guess, or inappropriate language. And now that I'm unemployed, no longer working for Casey's, just received possibly my last paycheck. And according to what I've been told, that I may or may not be able to get my job back in a year. Of course, in a year, I better have either a very good job or decent income, good enough income from YouTube to not have to worry about a job. And no, I'm not playing this, oh, I'm not going to worry about a job because YouTube's going to come through for me. No. I'm not waiting to find out what's going on with YouTube. I don't have that luxury. When I do have that luxury, but until then, I want to continue plugging away at work. But yeah, I would like to know from you guys if I need to worry about curbing my language or my field of discussion. But yeah, and the other question I have for you guys is, should I or shouldn't I put out a friendly but stern warning to other prospective Casey's workers about my store? I won't mention, I'll try not to mention people, just conditions, because I think there's a way to work around any kind of possible federal or legal issues dealing with or talking about my old job. But anyhow, sorry, I'm looking at today's Bible verse. Oh wow, I might not be talking about anything. This little verse just kind of hit something on the head. It says here, or maybe not. I don't know. Hold on. Oh yeah, our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs all of them. 2 Corinthians 4:17 NIV. I should have read that earlier. Discussion might have changed a whole lot. But yeah, I know the verse. I know that part of the Bible that talks about that, and for all our hardships, yeah, literally for all our hardships, for all the troubles that we deal with in our lives, is in the long run for I don't want to say for our own benefits, but for a better benefit, I don't know how to really say what it benefits, but our day-to-day struggles, they might seem difficult, they might seem a pain in the rump. Our daily struggles. I mean, look at what's going on right now. What's going on right now is disturbing. Not just the whole COVID business, but here I don't know exactly what troubles may be happening overseas right now. Most of the news that I hear from Europe is actually, looking very bright and cheery, and they're doing a whole lot better than we are when it comes to COVID, and everything's starting to go back to normal, slowly but surely. But we're still in the middle. I don't think we're anywhere near the end here in the States dealing with the pandemic. And the pandemic is causing all kinds of internal and external strife. I mean, not just on a personal level, because for me personally, it's not really affecting me because I'm taking all the precautions I can. But Vegas, Chicago, and Texas, I do believe. Vegas, especially, because I hear that from my sister in law. Um, don't hear much from anybody else because nobody else is squawking that much about it, except for my one friend down. Well, my one or two friends down in Houston are basically telling me that they're going back to wearing masks and making things like that mandatory and stuff like that, which is causing stress of one form or another. What we're dealing with here and how we deal with it in the long term, when we come out at the end of the fiasco or what do you even call it, even if we don't see it here, it's building up a wealth of goodness in heaven. Um, so I mean, all we can do right now is do our best to deal with it. I know it's a hassle. I know it's a headache. It's for if you're not thinking about yourself when you go out and decide not to wear the mask, think about other people. And I don't mean Tom, Dick, and Harry that you might run into on the street. I'm talking about your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your children, your grandchildren, your nieces and nephews, your family. Every time I leave this house, and there's only been once that I left the house and I forgot my mask and I forgot to put a mask on, my brain started going, wait a minute, you don't have your mask on. You're around people. Not everybody keeps their social distancing. A lot of people are like up each other's rump, breathing on top of you. Who knows who's going to sneeze near you and they're not 6 feet away. What if I catch something this one day, bring it home, and mom or daddy ain't get it, and their immune systems are worse than I am? I could be affecting one of them. I don't want that. I don't want the thought that I accidentally infect my mother. And she winds up in a hospital and never comes home. So those are the people I think about when the fact of that, one, I forgot my mask. Two, mask or not, you're not practicing social distancing. You're up my butt because of the fact that you want to be impatient or you don't want nobody to cut in line just to get out of the, just get their product or whatnot. I had a customer once who basically got mad at the person behind him because that person was literally so close to this guy, you didn't know if they were together or not. And he turned around and started, you know, basically just stood there and looked at the guy. And the guy was just kind of like, what's your problem? And I was the first one to say, sir, there are dots on the floor for a reason. You can either be social, can be polite enough to do social distancing, or I'm pretty sure this gentleman who's just standing here staring at you can wait until you back up. Because I got tired of it. And I had already had a stressful day, and I just kind of like, dude, there's a reason for what we're doing. But that's one of excuse me. That's one of the reasons why I just kind of like think about the reason why we're not seeing a lowering aspect of COVID, epidemics. It's because of the fact that we open up too fast and nobody wants to listen to the CDC or nobody wants to practice social distancing or nobody wants to wear the mask just for the safety factor. I know we can't force each other to wear the mask, but don't think about don't think about yourself, put it that way, first off. Unless you've got a health condition that prevents you from wearing a mask, okay. There was somebody on my wife showed it to me, talked to me about it. But there was a guy he's got medical conditions at the wazoo. All right. He's got asthma. He's got Asperger's. I can't remember what the other thing was he said he had. But he said even though he has asthma, the mask did not affect how poorly he was breathing because of asthma. In fact, I think he even said it made it a little bit better because he wasn't breathing in as much contaminants and particles that cause his asthma to act up. And I was just kind of like, dude, this guy's a poster boy. This guy's the ultimate reason that masks work. He's got Asperger's and asthma and other health conditions that make things difficult for him, yet he's practicing social distancing, wearing the mask, and following what the CDC says. Bravo. Bravo. More people need to understand this stuff. Anyhow, I need to get off my soapbox, and I need to get off this. It is almost 15 minutes long, and I am sorry again for it. And, of course, me breathing and me talking as quickly as I was and breathing the way I was, I'm going to start coughing. So, anyhow, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments or anything like that, go ahead and put them in the comment box. If you're new to my channel and want to subscribe, you can hit the subscribe button. A bell will pop up, and you will get notified when I put in my next video. And until next time, have a good day. God bless. Enjoy. Bye.